Okay, let us start. In previous lecture, we have seen 180-degree mode as well as 120-degree mode of conduction, especially when the load is connected in star. Right? I have given some sort of assignment that you have to check the output voltage if the load is connected in delta. Have you drawn the waveform? When the load is connected delta, what type of waveform you will get in case of 120-degree and 150-degree mode of conduction? Can anybody tell? I think you haven't tried. None of you have tried. Pavan,
Yes, sir.
have you tried that waveform? No, I think you haven't tried. No problem at all. It is your wish whether you try or not. But as a teacher, it is my responsibility to tell you if you don't try. Right? In case of delta connected load, phase voltage is equal to line voltage. So whatever the line voltage you are getting, the same you will get in case of uh, delta connected load. Right? So line voltage we have already drawn for 180-degree mode of conduction as well as 120-degree mode of conduction. The same line voltage will be appear across the line of, in case when it is connected to delta connected. I am just show you the waveform. Let me change the view. It is like this. Just give me a second. This. So in case of delta connected load, if the load is connected in delta, right, and this is your three phase inverter VSI, R, Y, B, these three are connected here. So you will get the line voltage, whatever the line voltage you are getting. In case I have drawn it for 180-degree mode, 120-degree mode already drawn. So the same line voltage will appear across the line, and phase voltage is equal to line voltage in case of 120-degree mode. So as such, nothing is to be drawn, but since you haven't tried, that is why you people don't know what would be the waveform. We have already drawn this waveform in our previous lecture that you can notice. This is 180-degree mode of conduction. We have drawn this the line voltage. The same line voltage will appear in the across the line in case of this delta connected load, and phase voltage is also equal to the line voltage. Right? Now the next topic is frequency and voltage control of VSI. Right? See, for example, if you consider UPS, uninterrupted power supply, it required constant frequency. Whereas if it is like induction motor, it requires variable frequency, right? So to change the speed, you required variable voltage, variable frequency operation, right? That is why voltage control is very much important, how you control the output voltage of inverter. There are three methods. Voltage control of VSI. There are three methods. Number one, it could be controlled by changing input DC supply voltage by changing input DC supply voltage, or it could be controlled by output voltage of inverter is controlled. Let me admit Ravi. So you can control the output voltage of inverter. And third way, that is voltage control within the inverter. I tell you each topic in detail. Mr. Sajal is interested to join. Okay. So the first case, this is your first case. This is your second case. This is your third case. Mr. Sajal, be on time next time. Okay, now the first case, input voltage, DC supply voltage is to be changed. How we can do this? Let me write red pen so that it is clear. Let us say the first case, you have fixed DC voltage. You just put one chopper. Now you will have variable DC, right? Then put one filter, and after this you have your VSI. Now input supply of this VSI is changing, and you are giving the timing pulse, that T by 2 means the duration for which one set of the devices are on. You are giving that duration, so in that way you can control the frequency as well. Output of this VSI would be variable voltage, variable frequency. Both quantity will vary. So this is best suited when input is DC supply. Suppose by using rectifier you get this constant DC voltage, then this is the best combination which you can use. You can have one chopper that will give you DC supply. By applying suitable filter, you can smooth DC, fix DC. Right? By changing duty cycle, you can change the input voltage. Input voltage is changing, so you will have variable output voltage. Right? Just give me a second so that I can take the screenshot of this, and it should be put in your ERP system. Right. Now, second option, it could be what we are discussing. We are discussing changing input DC supply voltage. In this case, this is changing. Now, suppose you have AC supply. You have AC supply. You know AC supply is fixed. This AC supply is fixed. You cannot change the voltage and frequency of the supply voltage. So what you will apply? You will use AC regulator. After AC regulator, you will have variable AC voltage. Now, if you have variable AC voltage, you can use uncontrolled rectifier. uncontrolled rectifier. Yeah, symbol, I am also making the symbol, uncontrolled rectifier. So you will have fixed DC. Mind it, fixed DC means since this is the variable AC, corresponding to this particular AC, this is fixed. Corresponding to this particular AC, this is fixed. Now you can apply VSI, and therefore voltage is in variable nature. Don't get confused. Means fixed DC means it is fixed in response to this. If this is particular value, it will have fixed value for this. But if this is changing, you will get always variable DC by changing the input of this rectifier. So you will have this type of configuration, right? Now, you may have this type of situation. You have fixed AC. You want to use uncontrolled DC. Of course you can. So you will have fixed DC. Now from fixed DC you can have one chopper. Now variable DC you will have. So filter, then again VSI, which will give you variable voltage. So this is another way. Right, there are so many possibilities. There are so many possibilities to get this variable voltage. But one thing you should notice, in all the cases, RPF is not possible. What is RPF? Is not possible. RPF is reverse power flow. When you want to feed back some of the energy to the source, it is not possible in this type of circuits. It is not possible in this type of circuit. The reverse power flow is not possible. Now, the second case, let me change the color. That is output voltage control of inverter. Output voltage control of inverter. Second case, output voltage control of inverter. How we can control the output voltage? It's very simple. Let us say we have fixed DC and we give it to VSI. So output is V. V is fixed because this DC supply is fixed. Now here you can apply AC regulator. Here you can apply AC regulator. Now you will have variable voltage, variable AC voltage. Your voltage source inverter will give you fixed value of voltage because this DC is fixed, and by applying this AC voltage regulator you can have variable AC, right? Of course all harmonic problem will be there. Another way, you can use transformer, use of transformer. How you can use? You can use, suppose you have a DC voltage and with the help of this DC voltage, you are running two inverter. You are running two inverter, and this is VSI. This is VSI, and output is going through transformer, and it is having one secondary. So primary, it is having two secondary, primary two winding and secondary one winding. And if there is a phase difference of phi, so you will have voltage like this. V01, this is V01, this is V02, this is V02. Now net voltage is V01 plus V02. This is phi. This is phi. In fact, this would be phi by 2. This would be phi by 2 because this is the phi. Voltage difference between these two is phi. So this angle would be phi by 2. The total has to be 180. This is phi. So this is 180 minus phi. So this angle, these two summation of these two angle would be phi. So these are half of phi by 2 and phi by 2. Assuming V01 is equal to V02. Assuming V01 is equal to V02. So you will have variable voltage like this. By changing the firing angle, by changing the phase shifting, you can have variable voltage. This article we will also do, we will also study when we are doing that harmonic reduction technique, right? That in that case we will see. So again, this is the output voltage control. Output voltage, you will have the control on output voltage, and this is the V output. This is the V output, which is equal to V01 plus. But in this case, you require transformer, which again will produce means harmonic. Distortion is there, bulky in nature. Here AC regulator, which also produce harmonic, and this is also a step wave output. Then AC regulator, to harmonic content is quite high. So all these techniques, however, available, but they are having problem. Now let me take the screenshot. Now the last technique is we can have let me take the screenshot, just a second. This, okay. Now the last technique, that is the voltage control within the inverter, the most important technique. You have to do something in control strategy of your inverter such that its output is automatically get improved. And the last technique, that is voltage control within the inverter. No additional circuit or anything you are supposed to apply. It will automatically control your output voltage, right? In this category, the first one is single pulse modulation. The first one is single pulse modulation. Then second is, let us give the numbering like A, B, so that you should not have any confusion. Second is multiple pulse modulation. You might be studied all these techniques in your communication system. or some analog electronics, somewhere you might study. And the last one is, that is selective. In fact, that may be beyond your course. Sinusoidal pulse width modulation. There are several more technique, like one is selective harmonic elimination technique. That also you can write selective harmonic elimination technique, right? So first one is multiple single pulse modulation technique, then multiple pulse modulation technique, then sinusoidal pulse width modulation technique, and the last one is the selective harmonic elimination technique. For today, we consider the single pulse modulation. Let us draw our inverter. It was like this. Let us consider the single phase inverter. We have 4 switches, S1, S3, S4, S2, all are having anti-parallel diode. In case of BSI, diode must be there in parallel with switch. So this is our single pulse, this single phase inverter, and this is our load. Let us say we have RL type load. Let us say we have RL type load, because in case of R, these diode will not come in the picture. S1, D1, D3, D4, and D2. Now, what you have to do? You have seen in case of, let me draw here, it will be much more clear. In case of step wave inverter, means what we have studied in previous case, this S1 and S4 were on for the period of T by 2, and this S2 and S3 were on for the period of T by 2. The waveform was, in case of step wave inverter, the waveform was like this, if you remember, isn't it? Here S1, S4, here S2, S3 were conducting. Now in case of single pulse modulation, what we do, we will give the pulse like this. We will give the pulse like this. It is symmetric. About pi by 2 means the duration of pulse is 2D. The duration of pulse is 2D, and it is symmetric about pi by 2. In case of step wave inverter, this 2D is equal to how much? Pi. 2D is equal to pi. We extend this pulse for the entire duration. This is pi, or T by 2. Total time period is, in the complete revolution, it is 2 pi. So it is pi, it is pi. This is also pi. In case of single pulse modulation, we give the pulse for the duration of 2D. Now question is, how you generate this type of pulse. How you generate this type of pulse, which can control this width, which can control this width, means it should be of 2D width. It is very simple, very, very simple. What you have to do, this is your pi, right? This is your pi. What you have to do, you have to delay the pulse of S1 by firing angle alpha. This is alpha, right? Pulse for S1 is delayed by firing angle alpha, whereas pulse for S2 is advanced by firing angle alpha. Pulse for S2 is advanced by firing angle alpha. This is your 2 pi. So it is like this. Duration is pi. Step wave inverter duration was pi. So for S1, S4 you have given this. In case of single pulse modulation, to generate this type of pulses, what you have to do, you have to delay the firing pulse for S1 by alpha. Duration remains same. This duration is pi. Remains same. And firing pulse of S2 is advanced by alpha. This is alpha. Here you are giving pulse S2 at this after pi. Here you are advancing this. Clear? And what about the pulse of S3? And what about the pulse of S4? Can anybody tell? What would be the pulse for S3 and S4? आप में से अगर if anyone can tell, so it is, I feel very happy. However, we have very few students, 3, 6, 9, 12. Only 12 students we have. किसी को नहीं समझ में आ रहा है? Can anybody tell this? Yes. Problem with the material available on net, NPTEL or anywhere, right? This is 2D. This is 2D. Likewise, here you will get, this is the V output. This is the V output. And this value is how much? It is VDC. That is why how it is generated. How it is generated. Now let us see what is the advantage of doing this thing. Means we are sorting the duration of pulse. So we can find out the output voltage. Instantaneous output voltage is given as V output is summation. This is the square wave. We can write it in the form of sine and cosine. So it would be summation n equal to 1 to infinity a n sine n omega t plus b n summation n equal to 1 to infinity b n sine n omega t. All right. We can, oh sorry, a n sine omega t cos b n cos n omega t. Clear? b n cos n omega t. This component is 0. This component is 0 because waveform is symmetric in nature. So all bn, that is even component, would be get cancelled out. Only odd component will be there. You can copy this. Meanwhile, I take the screenshot of this.
सर वो S1 वाला पाई कैसे हुआ तो थोड़ा बता दीजिए.
SN क्या? Yes, yes. Ask.
S1 वाला.
S1
कैसे बनाया?
S1 क्या?
S1 का सर पल्स कैसे बनाया है?
As the duration of the pulse means conduction of this pulse is pi, that is t by 2. What we do, we shifted or delayed the firing pulse of S1 by an angle alpha, right?
Yes, sir.
We are giving, in this case, we are giving at instant 0. What we did, we just apply a delay of alpha. Duration remains same, so it will go from pi to this pi plus alpha. And this S2 pulse is advanced. S2 has to be generated, pulse for S2 has to be generated from this instant pi, and it is advanced by an angle alpha. Pi से alpha पहले ही it will get start. Now S1 and S2 we have the remaining pulses, that means for S3 and S4 these pulses are to be generated by complementing the device pulses. S1 complement will be S3. You can notice S1 complement will be S3 and S2 complement will be S4. Now whenever S1 and S4 are conducting, you will get this VDC, this DC voltage at the output. This is your VO, this is your VO that you are getting, right?
Yes, sir.
So there should not be any confusion. You just copy this. Meanwhile, I'm taking the screenshot of this. Probably this meeting is going to be closed within 2 minutes. We will do another meeting just for 20 to 30 minutes, right? For today's target is just to complete this article, right? So just give me a second. Just give me a second. And it is given by this. Now you can calculate the value of AN. You just calculate what would be the value of AN.
सर एक और चीज पूछना था,
बताइए साहब.
ये सर ये V0 का जो एक्सप्रेशन लिखा है नीचे,
Yes.
इसमें सर डीसी कंपोनेंट नहीं, A0 वाला A0 वाला कंपोनेंट नहीं आएगा सर?
How DC component will come? It is the symmetric in nature. If you draw this fundamental, it will start from 0 and turning to pi. There would be no DC component. Whatsoever the positive voltage, the same is the negative. There is no question of DC component.
Okay.
Huh? Symmetric है ना भाई ये तो. If there is unsymmetric, there is unsymmetry, then only DC component will appear at the output. If waveform is symmetric, there is no question of DC component. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So now AN is given by, very simple. AN is given by VAN. It is very simple. 2 upon